Hi, I went to the cinema this week and saw One Life, a new film by James Hawes about the life of Nicholas Winton. It's told over two separate time periods, in 1938 and then 1987. In 1987, we see the elderly Winton, played by Anthony Hopkins, living comfortably in the home counties and in his retirement working for a variety of charitable causes. His wife is encouraging him to clear up the house, such to get rid of some of the old documents he doesn't need anymore. And during his excavations, he turns out an old scrapbook. The scrapbook relates back to his experiences before the Second World War when he volunteered to work in Prague for a period of time on a project to find homes for refugees trying to escape the encroaching Nazi threat. Winton was determined to try and rescue as many children from the situations he could, and indefatigably pressed forward by sheer force of will, motivating those around him, and even getting the support of his own mother to harangue the Home Office to enable children to be found homes in the UK. Ultimately, Winton saved the lives of almost 700 children who were shipped from Prague to the UK and into foster homes. But this achievement goes completely unrecognised until he is persuaded to show the scrapbook to a friend who passes it on in turn to the trustee of a museum, who happens to be the wife of Robert Maxwell, the media baron, and eventually appears on That's Life, where he's reunited with the descendants and the children themselves, who are unendingly grateful for Winton saving their lives. It's an extremely moving story. Winton's sheer lack of uh, uh, almost guilelessness. He is not concerned about glory for himself or that his achievement is recognized. He's only concerned about saving the children. And in fact, the main feeling he seems to have based on this film is guilt that the final train of 250 children was prevented from leaving, and that many of those children would have been sent to their deaths. Johnny Flynn, as the younger Winton, I thought was extremely strong. Helena Bonham Carter, as his mother, is delivering something of the Helena Bonham Carter performance, but has a warmth and a determination that you can really see where her son gets it from. But it's really Hopkins' show. It's an astonishing performance by the actor. I was fully engaged throughout with this extraordinary story and how it's gradually teased into public knowledge that it should be on, of all places, That's Life, a magazine program that would mix stories of amusingly shaped vegetables with hard-hitting consumer rights stories. Um, but the conclusion of the story, which is well known, that Winton was invited to appear on the program, and the host Esther Ranton asked if there was anyone in the audience who owes their life to him, and every single member of the audience stands up. It's one of the best films I've seen of the last year. I thought it was very sensitively written, very delicately handled. There is an equal lack of pretension. It's not trying to bludgeon you into being overwhelmed by what's happening. It's simply laying out the facts and letting the emotion of events tell the story and not forcing you with leading direction or overly emotive music. It's a human story told in a very human way, and I think Hawes's direction, as a result, is very restrained, but it hits all the right notes. The title itself comes from a proverb about saving one life is to save the world itself, which is quoted in Schindler's List, Winton himself being sometimes referred to as the British Schindler. And the conclusion of the story is it was very satisfying that not only is Winton publicly recognised for his extraordinary achievement and maybe being the greatest humanitarian the UK produced in the last 100 years, but he lived to reacquaint himself with the children he had helped, now adults well into middle age, became close friends, and in fact died only a few years ago, living to a very ripe old age and beloved by a grateful nation. I was very impressed by this film. I thought it was very moving, very serious minded, but not without um, great emotion. It's more that it's not frivolous. It's not trying to make the audience feel about how important this is. It's simply telling you this is what happened. It trusts the audience to reach their own conclusions with their own emotional responses. And mine was deep and profound. I think it's one of the best films I've seen this year. Um, I think Anthony Hopkins' performance is extraordinary. I'd recommend this very highly.